So now we discuss John Vonthunen's agricultural location theory. So Vonthunen's theory, agricultural location theory. Vonthunen was a German economist and landowner who published the important work titled his important work, The Isolate Estate, in 1826. So the year 1826, his important work is The Isolate Estate. He was inspired by the work of Adam Smith, who developed the theory of rent. In his model, von Thunen had two basic postulates. First is, in his work, in his model, von Thunen had two basic postulates. One is the intensity of agricultural production of a particular crop declines with the distance from the market. So intensity of agricultural production is of a particular crops declines with the distance of the market. The types of second is the types of land use varies with the distance from the market. The land use it is varies from the distance from the market. Assumption: Johann von Thunen assumes very large city in the middle of a fertile plain, which is not crossed by the navigable river or canal. The soil of the plain is uniformly fertile and everywhere cultivable. A great distance from the city, the plain shall end on an uncultivated wilderness, by which the state is separate from the rest of the world. So the soil of the plain is unfortunately it is fertile, because plain region there is fertile soil is in, and it is which is very important and very good for cultivation purpose. A great distance from the city or the plain shall end in an uncultivated wilderness, by which the state is separate from the rest of the world. The main assumption of the von Thunen model have been given below. There is only one city, that is one central market. There is only one city, that is one central market. All farmers sell their products in the market, in the central market. Okay, and all farmers are profit maximizers, economic operators, or rational persons. The agricultural land around the market is of uniform productive capacity. The agricultural land around the market is of uniform productive capacity, and all the farmers get the same price for the same quality of product. So all the farmers get same price, get the same price for the same quality of product. There is only one mode of transportation by which farmers can transport their agricultural products to market. There is only one mode of transportation. So it is important by which the farmers can transport their agricultural products to the market. So in effect, von Thunen was not so much excluding as holding constant such key variables of as physical environment, humans, and transport. Only one key variable, distance from market, was allowed to vary. So here in effect von Thunen was not so much excluding as holding constant such key variables as physical environment, humans, and transport. Only the key variables, regional key variables, distance from the market, was allowed to vary. This was a distinctive and highly regional conservations, and was of course in accord with his definition of economic rent, which centers on distance from the market. The concept of economic rent. So the concept of economic rent was calculated by R. So von Thunen formula is R equals to E into P minus A minus EFK. So here R equals to rent per unit of land dependent variable. So R equals to E into P minus A minus EFK. And others are K is the K means distance from the market independent variables. E equals to output per unit of land. P equals to market price per unit of commodity. A equals to production cost per unit of commodity, and A equals to transport rate per unit of distance per unit of commodity. So this equation is this equation is a straightforward linear relationship between rent. So this equation is a straightforward linear relationship between rent and distance. Rent is a function which with the details of the relationship determined by E. Okay, so rent is here rent is the function which is determined by E. So here you can see P minus A, and which gives the intercept, the EF, which determines the slope of the line. EF means slopes of the line. What are the implications of economic rent as calculated above? Because economic rent declines with increasing distance. So economic rent declines with increasing distance from the market. It eventually becomes zero, and when more than one original activity is practiced, a series of economic rent lines will appear. Figure 8.6, where lines cross the one activity replaces another as the more profitable. The result is that agricultural activities are zoned around the central market, and a series of concentric rings merge. In his opinion, agricultural activities are located in a series of concentric circles around the central market, for which there is market demand. To determine the location and size of each product zone, vonthunen used data from his own estate. So economic rent lines for 3 crops and related zones: crop 1, crop 2 and crop 3. First is crop 1, crop upper portion. Economic rent here you can see, and distance from the market, lower portion. And first circle is crop 1, and second is crop 2, and third is round, it is crop 3. So here you can see so economic rent from market, central market to the distance here to the peripheral region. Here in the central market, there you can see in the curve, and then this then here you can see crop 2 and crop 3. Crop 3 mainly cherry, black spotted round portion. So here you can see all the good diagram. It is economic rent lines. It is figure is name is economic rent lines for 3 crops related to zone of land use. Next, so here this figure names agricultural land use and isolated estate. So here you can see first round is the town market area, black spotted, it is mainly market area, and mainly one mainly horticulture and dairying, two mainly forestry. So here you can see, so here is round color is the main town market area, and second is horticulture and dairying, and third is forestry and second is forestry, first is horticulture and dairying, and second is forestry, third is crop rotation without fallow, fourth is crop rotation with fallow, 5 is 3 field system, and 6 is grazing, 7 is wilderness. So you can see, so here first is market, first is horticulture and dairying, second is forestry, third is crop rotation, and then third is crop rotation without fallow, and fourth is crop rotation with fallow, and 5 is 3 field system, and 6 is grazing, and 7 is wilderness. On production cost market prices, on production cost market prices transport costs and so on. The principal concentric zone emerging from the concept of isolated states is estate, while the number of size and content of zones is a function of particular place and times. The concentric zones of agricultural land use have been shown in figure here, and nomenclature is given below: horticulture and dairying, and then forestry, then crop rotation without fallow, crop rotation with fallow, and three field system and grazing and wilderness. Combining the isolated estate concept, zone data, and the economic rent concept, vonthunen came to two conclusions: zone of land devoted to specific use of develop around the market. Second is the intensity of each specific land use decreases with increasing distance from the market. And the intensity of each specific land use decreases with increasing distance from the market. So the intensity of each specific land use decreases with increasing distance from the market. So here the modification of vonthunen model in navigable waterway. And the center point, the crop conversion crop theory has been shown with illustration. The crop theory it is. So zone 1 is the market gardening, and zone market gardening, vegetables, fruits and milk production, both fresh vegetables and dairy products, vegetable products here give high returns and high transport cost. Zone 2 forestry products used fuel and building. So forestry could comment a location close to market because of the high transport cost involved in moving such bulky products. So the principle of commercial crops. In location 3, 4, 5, the difference between the zones reflect difference the intensity of cultivation. Zone 3 used 6-year rotation, and Zone 5 used field system, livestock ranching, particular butter, cheese and live animals is located in Zone 6. Beyond Zone 6 is wilderness, that can be brought into production if special beyond zone. Zone 6 is wilderness that can be brought into production if special expansion is needed in the future to meet increased demand on the agricultural commodity. The assumption of the single mode transportation of the market was relaxed by the modification of the navigable waterways, saving elongated zones. So here you can see the concentrated land use model, an original contribution which has been applied to the subsequent geographers in the development of many theories in the human geography. In this model, the economic rent and the agricultural location is measured in terms of transportation. So here in Vonthunen's hypothesis, you can see numerous geographers tested, and here in the seminal work is Chesholm and Jonasson and Volkenberg. So here you can see in Europe taken in the market intensity of agriculture declines of Europe going away from the market, so it's not important. So here you can see in the intensity of market intensity of agriculture in Europe. So here intensity is high and then it's decreasing 180 here, and then 150, then 125 and 75 next. So next we discuss relevance of in the Vonthunen's model in Indian agriculture. So next time we discuss it. So thank you.